All right, a massive hello to all your apprentices at Kent Business College. Have you ever stopped to think that the products you see every day actually have a life story? Seriously, just like us, they're born, they grow up, they get old, and eventually they retire. And today, we're going to uncover that secret life.
So let me ask you this right from the get-go. Is the product you're thinking about a fresh-faced newborn, a chart-topping rock star, or maybe a bit of a dinosaur? By the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly how to tell. Let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll get our heads around this idea that products have lives. Then, we'll walk through the 4 key stages of that life. After that, we'll look at how you manage a whole family of products. And finally, we'll piece it all together into a strategic map you can literally use at work tomorrow. Simple and super powerful.
Okay, first up, the 4 stages of life. Because every single product, I'm talking everything from a can of Coke to a smartphone, has its own unique story. And our job as marketers is to know exactly how to read it.
And this right here, this is the map to that story. It's called the product life cycle. It basically shows a product's journey by tracking its sales over time. It all kicks off with a big launch party. That's the introduction phase. Then it shoots for the stars during growth, hits a nice long cruising altitude at maturity, and eventually it makes a graceful landing into decline.
Now, what's really cool about this is how it simplifies our job at each stage. See, in the beginning, our mission is just to inform people that this new amazing thing even exists. Then, as it takes off, we switch into persuade mode, showing everyone why our brand is the one to choose. When things level out, it's all about a friendly reminder. And in the end, we just phase it out gracefully without wasting a load of money. Inform, persuade, remind. Makes sense, right?
Let's make this real with some UK examples you'll definitely get. 5G home broadband? It's still in its introduction. Companies are spending a fortune just explaining what it is. Electric cars? Oh yeah, they're in a massive growth spurt right now. Breakfast cereals? Totally mature. Brands aren't trying to convince you to eat cereal, are they? Just to pick their box. And, bless them, DVD players are in decline, waving a slow goodbye as we all move to streaming.
And this is just a brilliant example of the whole cycle on fast forward. I mean, look at the life of music formats. Vinyl was the king, right? Then cassettes came along. Then CDs just blew them both away. But then, bam, MP3s arrived, and before they even got comfy, streaming services showed up and completely changed the game. Each new technology creates a brand new life cycle and pushes the old one into retirement.
Okay, so that's all well and good for one product. But what if you're a company like, say, Unilever or Nestle? You're not just managing one kid, you're running a whole chaotic nursery. You absolutely need a system to know who needs your attention and who needs to, well, get a job and start paying their own way. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you manage that whole family? Where do you put your time, your budget, your energy, when you've got all these different products demanding your attention at once?
You use this. Meet the Boston Consulting Group Matrix, or the BCG Matrix for short. Just think of it as your family portrait. It's a super simple but incredibly powerful tool that sorts all your products into 4 different personality types, all based on how fast their market is growing and how big a slice of that market they own. So, let's meet the family.
First up, you've got the stars. These are your overachievers, the absolute rock stars of the family. They're in a booming market and they are leading the pack. The only catch? They're hungry. They need a ton of cash and investment to keep up with all that growth. A perfect example right now is Corn's vegan range. That market is exploding. They're a huge player and they have to keep investing to stay on top.
So, if the stars are the cash-hungry rock stars, who's paying the bills? Well, that's the job of the calm, reliable cash cows. The market they're in isn't really growing much anymore, but they have a massive share of it. Think of a classic Kit Kat bar. It just sits there, reliably making money that the company can then use to fund its exciting new projects. You milk the cow.
All right, you've got your stars to aim for and your cows to fund them. But what about the new stuff? The big gambles? These are your wild cards, the question marks. These products are in a high-growth market, which is really exciting, but they have a tiny market share. So you have to make a tough call. Do you pour a fortune into them to try and turn them into a star, or do you cut them loose? Think of a classic car brand launching its first EV against someone like Tesla. That's a huge question mark.
And finally, what about the products that aren't growing and aren't market leaders? Well, we have the dogs. Now look, we all love dogs, but in business terms, these are the products that are just hanging around.
They're in a low-growth market with a low share, and they're just draining resources without giving much back. It's often best to just let these go. I mean, can you imagine a company still trying to sell fax machines today? Yeah.
So here it is, the whole strategy in one sentence. The logic is brilliantly simple. You take the steady, reliable money that's being generated by your cash cows, and you use it to fuel the growth of your stars and to place some big bets on your most promising question marks. It's basically how you fund the future.
Okay, so we've got our strategic map, but how do you actually do it? How do you keep a star shining or keep a cow profitable for decades? Well, that's where a product's personality, its brand, comes into play. A strong brand is basically the fuel in the engine for all of these strategies.
You see this battle of the brands every single time you go to the supermarket. On one side, you have the big manufacturer brands, like Kellogg's, who spend millions on advertising to build loyalty so you'll happily pay a bit more. And on the other side, you've got the supermarket's own label brands, like Tesco Finest, which try to compete either by being cheaper or by carving out a little premium niche for themselves.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've looked at a product's life story, and we've seen its place in the family. Now it's time to put it all together into your very own strategic marketing map, so you can start making some really smart moves.
And please remember, these tools, the life cycle and the BCG Matrix, they aren't just academic theories for an exam. Honestly, think of them as your real-world cheat sheets. They give you a quick, visual way to figure out what's going on and make smarter, faster decisions about where to put your time and money.
So now, it's over to you. When you're back at work tomorrow, take a proper look around. Think about the products or services your company offers. Can you spot the family members? Can you see a star that needs funding? A cash cow that's paying all the bills? And maybe, just maybe, a dog that's just hanging around? The map is now in your hands. Go use it.